Battlefield's first ever official ranked mode is a complete disaster. Now, while I praised the Season 3 content like the weapons and gold mode, like I mentioned many times before, I had a sneaking suspicion that ranked was going to be a little embarrassing. And damn, was I right. Whether it's black screens, broken lighting, exploits, ammo drops being totally empty, or simply the inability to spawn in, Battle Royale Ranked is the perfect representation of the technical incompetence of Battlefield Studios, not to mention the changes to recoil and legacy issues of hit reg and player visibility. I really want Battlefield to have some sort of aspirational content, like ranked, prestige, or PvE raids that give hard-earned in-game rewards. But my worries have been justified. While I can appreciate some of the mechanics and concepts in the Battle Royale, I was always, let's say, unimpressed with the mode's gameplay. It's a real showcase of core issues such as player visibility, UI, and matchmaking rolled into one on a map that's sort of breaking at the seams. Throw in the high stakes of ranked, where players are playing harder and moving faster, and the game is crumbling underneath them. Whether you agree with the current state of the gunplay or have avoided issues like desync, the fact is, if you load into a match and can't spawn, or you get your graphics totally blown out, the nuance of gunplay doesn't matter, because the game is fundamentally broken. And I really wish Season 3 had released with RedSec Elite, because there's nothing more I'd love to see than Battlefield Studios hosting their massive $1 million tournament, only to watch the best players in the world get glitched out of gunfights and hung up on laggy interactions. It's a shame, because the BR had a decent ranking system and the foundations of those aspirational rewards. But releasing with only quads, in a totally broken state, a full 7 months since release, while you have this many staff and resources, is a disgrace. This isn't a rant about mechanics I don't like. This is a rant about how when it comes time to deliver, Battlefield Studios always fucks it up. They've had years in development, months on the market, and still cannot get fundamental things to work, even when it comes down to where the game needs the most integrity. The Battle Royale has always been problematic, with a glitchy map, worse hit reg on a lower tick rate, and player visibility at its absolute worst. But while those were standalone issues, I'm to the point I can't play. As my console friends get blinded by graphical issues, core systems like ammo drops are broken, and matchmaking queues freeze the UI. In typical fashion, Battlefield Studios has once again squandered a moment with huge potential, just like Firestorm and Hazard Zone before it. And while RedSec appears to not be going anywhere, every update seems to make the mode less and less valuable as free-to-play players get their first taste of Battlefield with a fundamentally broken, frustrating shit show. But guys, if you like in-depth reviews and discussions about all things Battlefield, drop a like and hit subscribe, and let's dive deeper into the disaster of RedSec Ranked. Now, hopefully by the time you see this, some of these issues have been resolved, because as of the time of writing, the devs have announced they found the cause of the lighting bugs, but that was 2 days ago, and less than 50,000 people even saw that tweet. So for many, especially new players, they're going into RedSec and seeing stuff like this, being presented with a totally unplayable experience 7 months after release and after years of development. At the same time, hardcore players, including some big-time content creators, are going in and not just experiencing issues like that, but are being killed by exploits such as players shooting up under the map. For me personally, I've had a lot of problems with hitching or laggy interactions, like opening doors and picking up weapons, where I can't drop items or have to prompt an action multiple times. But one of my favorites is calling in empty ammo drops and mission rewards.
The fuck?
These aren't subjective issues. These are not debates over recoil. These are fundamentally game-breaking issues where mechanics the devs have introduced and have been working fine for months suddenly cease to function, and have done so at precisely the worst time. Since release, Battlefield Studios has been heavily banking on esports with Battlefield, something they've dabbled in for years, but have now finally went public with in incredibly poor fashion. Releasing your critically acclaimed game to massive success, and then having to walk back all of your biggest initiatives, delaying the live service and postponing RedSec Elite, is a hilarious admittance of failure. We all know EA is happy to bullshit their way through anything, so when they have to pause the live service, delay paid content like the Season 2 Battle Pass, and kill their push into Twitch relevance with dropping their esports initiative, you know it's bad. And personally, it's just painful. Most of my friends are on console, and joining up with new players, making new friends, and building out a roster of guys I can grind ranked with is at the core of these sorts of experiences. However, when everyone gets the same sort of graphical bug right at the start of the match, well, the vibes go downhill fast.
Bro, my screen just went black. It's bugged. I cannot see at all.
I'm hoping me dying here fixes
This is crazy.
Yeah.
While most just quit and swear off the mode, as a content creator, I have to sit there and tell my casual console friends about all the bugs they'll most likely experience and how there's no way they can fix it. Since the start of Season 3, a lot of my friends have already dropped the game. They came in hyped for new content, nostalgic about the M16, and ready for a new season. But between the unnecessary changes to gunplay and straight up broken state of RedSec, I'm already back to queuing alone in a battle royale that can't figure out how to add solos, no matter how many years of testing they have under their feet. It's hilarious watching the devs be so precise with the decision to test and add solos. Meanwhile, this is what they find acceptable for ranked. It's abundantly clear that no amount of testing, time, or talent will fix the state of Battlefield as a franchise. Frostbite appears to be dogshit. Meanwhile, indie devs half this size, using industry-standard tools like Unreal, can make Arc and Windrose. Ultimately, I want ranked to succeed in some sort of way, and hopefully something like Strike Point is where it happens. But at the rate Battlefield Studios is delaying content, pulling things like solos back and forth in testing, while still promoting disasters like the current state of RedSec after all of this time and money, I doubt ranked multiplayer is coming anytime soon. Battlefield is buried in technical debt, and no amount of time, money, or testing seems like it can save it. And while I'm sure there'll be a fix for the current issues soon, what happens with the next big update? Battlefield 6 has turned into a game of technical whack-a-mole, where the devs can never get a handle on what's going on under the hood, and the game's official push into esports with ranked is the clearest example of how out of control the game really is. But guys, let me know what issues you've had in RedSec, and for everything else Battlefield, stay tuned and subscribe, and as always, thank you guys for watching.